This is the Southside School of Financial Freedom Market Report and Small Account Update for the week ending March 28th, 2024. The market finished higher this week. The Dow Jones Industrial Average decreased minus 0.77% on Friday, but was up 1.97% for the week. The S&P 500 decreased minus 0.14% on Friday, but was up 2.29% for the week. The Nasdaq increased 0.16% on Friday and was up 2.85% for the week. Looking at the week, we can see that there were 13 up finishes versus 2 down finishes for the major indexes. On Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, all the major indexes finished up. On Friday, the Dow Jones Industrial Average and the S&P 500 finished down, while the Nasdaq finished up. How did you do? My small account finished 3.26% higher and generated cash flow of 2.05%. Even when the market falls and or my account doesn't do well, I still get income or cash flow by selling covered calls and naked puts. This method does not only guarantee cash flow or income, it can also beat the S&P 500. Now, I don't use charts, I don't use fundamental analysis, I don't use indicators or signals, and I definitely don't sit in front of a computer screen all day to watch the market. I simply choose a stock from my watch list to sell covered calls and or naked puts. I do have 5 criteria for choosing stocks to put on my trading watch list. I will not reveal what my criteria are, but if you examine my list, you may be able to figure out the criteria for yourself. The last row is my benchmark row. That is, I measure my performance against gold, silver, and the S&P 500. I choose the stock option based on whether I own the stock or I would like to own the stock. I choose a strike price, an expiration date, a bid, and I submit a limit order. Then I wait for execution. If the sale does not execute, I may change my order or wait until the next day to submit a new order. Looking at my watch list from the week, the strongest performer on the list was Tilray Brands Incorporated. It's in the second column. It was up 18.46% on Friday and increased 33.53% for the week. Tilray Brands Incorporated is a cannabis lifestyle and consumer packaged goods company that engages in the research, cultivation, processing, and distribution of medical cannabis products in Canada, the U.S., Europe, Australia, New Zealand, and Latin America. Tilray operates 4 business segments, and they are cannabis, distribution, beverages, and wellness. The company offers medical and adult use cannabis products. They purchase and resell pharmaceutical and wellness products. They also produce, market, sell, and distribute beverage alcohol products and hemp-based food and other wellness products. Looking at a summary of results, you can see that Tilray has increased only 0.43% year to date. I have generated cash flow from Tilray. This week, I generated cash flow from selling 5 different option contracts, 4 calls, and 1 put that range from $4.34 to $28.34. So, on Wednesday, I sold 4 calls, one for $18.34, one for $4.34, one for $12.34, and one for $28.34. And on Thursday, I sold a put for $15.34. I also received interest of 61 cents. That is a total of $79.31, which is not a lot of money, but the account is small, and $71.31 in cash flow was 2.05% of my account value. With this system, this money is free and clear. You can take it out of your account and spend it, or leave it in to build your cash balance and or invest it. If you want to increase the amount of cash flow, just use a larger account. For example, to 10x the cash flow to $793.10, use a larger account, and instead of selling one of everything I sold, sell 10. This strategy is guaranteed to produce cash flow immediately and every week that it is applied. However, it does not guarantee the amount of cash flow from week to week nor the value of your account. The amount varies and the account value varies. Despite the variations in amount and value, the goal is to generate cash flow and beat the S&P 500. And that is what I am openly showing you every week as it happens. Note, most professional money managers and their strategies do not consistently beat the S&P 500 every year. They usually lose, and they lose by a lot. Last year, this method beat the S&P 500 by about 12%. But in 2024, my account is down minus 16.4% versus 9.66% up for SPY, which is an S&P 500 ETF. That's a difference of 26.04%. So I am losing to the S&P 500 by over 26% after the first quarter of the year. It is not unusual to beat the S&P 500 one year and then lose to the index the next year. Will I befall the same fate? It looks like it because I am trailing SPY by a lot. But still, the year is not over and there is still time. This week, SPY gained 2.23%, while my account gained 3.26%. Will I keep gaining on the S&P 500? Tune in next week to find out. Bitcoin watch. Bitcoin lost minus 6.83% this past week, but it is in a bull market. It is near all-time highs. It is up almost 54% year to date. Bitcoin may be the only long-term investment you need. What do you say? What is your strategy? Do you know how to produce cash flow every week and beat the S&P 500? Do you invest in Bitcoin? Do you invest in the S&P 500? Those two may actually be the smartest things to do. As you develop, analyze, and implement your strategy, please check back to see how well my small account performs against the S&P 500 from week to week by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Thank you.